All right, guys, we've been posting fishing videos, big catfish. So we're just gonna show you how we set up our rod and reels to be able to get them in. We have a 11-foot casting rod from Bass Pro Shops. You can pick those up for around 50 bucks. The reels, the most expensive part is the Abu Garcia Catfish Special. And then we use a lot of Whisker Seeker. We're not affiliated or we don't promote for them. It's just quality products to get here quick. We got the 85-pound high-vis braid, the sinker sliders. We got the 100-pound barrel swivels actually from Walmart. The sinkers are 1-ounce sinkers. We use 2 of those from Walmart. The bobber stops. These are sinker bumpers from Whisker Seeker as well to keep them from bumping against your knot and causing it to break your line. And then we're just going to use a small and then a little bigger stops for our bobber. And we got the bobber from Whisker Seeker as well. It's 3-ounce unweighted. They come with the light in the top. You just take it off, turn the battery upside down when it gets dark, and you're good to go. And then the last piece we'll have is the leader line. We do that on the end of the braid, anywhere between 14 18 inches. That's just because the big catfish, they have a lot of small sharp teeth and they actually chew on the line above the hook when you're fighting them to get them in, and they'll chew through your line and get away. So we're gonna go ahead and put some line on this pole and get it reeled in, and we'll show you how we set it all up. All right, now you can tie the braid straight around the reel and do it that way, but it's much harder with the braid because it's stiff and it doesn't want to pull down real tight. So what we do is use like maybe a foot long 15-pound of the regular mono. It ties down real tight, and then you just tie your braid to that, and then it's on the very end, so it's not going to affect the performance of it or anything. And we'll, as you see, it'll roll right up on there. And well, on these kind of reels, you definitely want to make sure you keep it snug so you don't have anything, any loose loops or anything in there to get caught up, cause you to bird nest later on. We'll go ahead and fill this spool up, and then we'll go ahead and show you how we put our bobbers on, and sinkers, sinker slides, and stoppers, and all of that, and the leader line. Okay, so we got the reel all spooled up. We got the line through everything, so we're gonna put our bobber stopper on for our slip bobber there. These are really simple to do. You just put it on like this. Get it pretty close to where you want it. We're just gonna do this around here for now, but we'll just hold the thread itself. Piece of the plastic slides right out. We'll tighten this up later. All you do to tighten it up, you get it about where you want it, and then you can always move them once they're tight too. You just pull both ends of the thread and then just trim the thread off at the end is all you got to do, so it's not all sticking out there and get snagged up. And then the next thing that we do, you don't have to, but we usually use one of the smaller beads like this at the top. Goes right up against the bobber stop. That way it doesn't get stuck down inside the bead that's sitting on top of your bobber. And they just slide on. Pretty simple like that. And then, so the next step, and to put these bobbers on, I mean, all slip bobbers are similar. You slide the line through them. Whisker Seekers, they got a little hole right here, right next to the LED light. You just start it down in there, and you feed it through, and it'll just pop out the bottom here in a second. There it is. Pull it through, and then after that, we will put our swivel and our leader line and hook on. What we're going to do is we'll go ahead and put our sinker slides on. We can attach the sinkers later with the sinker slider. That's the great thing about those sinker sliders. Show you that in a minute, but you got to go ahead and slide these on first of all. And all they do is like a shock basically, because the heavy weight's sliding into your knot on the barrel swivel. And what we use it's called a polymer knot. It's a simple knot to do. One of the strongest fishing knots you got. It's not going to slip or give at all. So pretty simple. You just double the line over, run it through one end of your barrel swivel, and you can wrap it once, which is all we do. You just do it once. If you wrap it twice, it's called a double polymer knot. And then you just push your swivel through your knot, hold on to it right here and pull it, and then it'll slide right down on top of itself. So it ties the knot, and then basically it ties a loop on top of the knot. And the more weight that's put on it, the tighter it actually gets. And that's pretty simple. And then just trim some of this. I always leave a little tag on it, so that when you're fishing, if you get a really big fish and you're pulling really hard, it gives you a little extra to, in case it pulls down a little, tightens up a little more. You ain't got to worry about that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get our leader line now. It's a 100-pound leader line. It abrasion resistant, won't cut on rocks. Fish can't chew it, none of that stuff. So you want to get about, pull off, you ain't got, I mean, just roughly about 18 inches is good, because it gives you plenty of room between your sinkers and your bait, especially if you're fishing on the bottom, tight lining, because it gives it room to where your bait can swim up off the bottom, you know, 12 to 18 inches, kind of present it the same way a float does if you're fishing pretty close to the bottom. Use the same knot, polymer knot. This is a lot stiffer, a lot thicker. It's harder to tie. We're using the number 8 circle hooks. Really good for big catfish, strong, not going to break, not going to bend. And one good thing about the circle hooks is if the fish put a lot of pressure on the hook before you even set it, a lot of times they'll hook themselves. And they're very easy to hook. Just go through the front, it makes the hook set better. Same thing, just wrap it one time around, make your loop, and then kind of snug it down here. And then feed your hook right back up through it, just like that. And this loop here goes up, just make sure it stays on top of your knot once you tighten it down. One thing I'll show you here in a minute, we use water when we're doing these knots because it's so stiff, and you just dip the knot itself in the water for a few seconds, and then when you pull it, it'll allow it to pull tighter, and it'll tighten on down. And also pliers are really good. Just don't grab the end that's going to be staying under, just the tag in. Hold the hook and pull it. It gets it really good and snug. Trim your tag off there. I'll leave about probably an inch, once again, in case it does slide just a little bit under pressure. Not the best scissors, obviously. And then we go to the other end. We're going to tie this on our barrel swivel. You need a little bit bigger loop when you go through, because you're going to be feeding your hook through as well. Just push it through there and make your loop. And you just feed the entire line, the hook and everything, right back through the loop. Just like that. Cinch it all down. Make sure this little loop right here flips up on top. Well, it's hard to see with everything in the way, but there we go. It'll pop it right. There we go. And then once again, just dip it down in the water there, and then let it set for a few seconds. And then take a pair of pliers, grab this tag in, down here kind of close. And then on these, I take another pair because you can actually grab the swivel itself, not going to hurt it at all. And you can just pull it and get a really good, that's cinched down, that's not going anywhere now. And like I said before, leave about an inch or so on there so that you have your leader line there. And everything is there is good to go. It's caught a little bit on the tag there. There it is. Okay. Now we're going to put the sinkers on. I'll show you how to do those. For that, we just got some 15-pound line from Walmart. Just cut a piece off, 6-8 inches long. Allows the line to slide through, so they're not feeling the weight of the sinkers. It's more natural that way. And then show you we got our thread right here to stop our bobber, stop the beads, so you can adjust the depth of your bobber, and that's what it looks like when it's cut off. Nice, neat, trimmed, and out of the way. And another thing I just wanted to mention, like I said, we do some bottom fishing as well as floats, and we got these off Amazon. They're about $15 for like 20 of them, but basically they got the bells on them that ring when you get a bite. You can use those during the day too, actually, and you just, comes apart like this, you just clip it right on the tip of your pole, right about here. So when they get a bite, they ring, and then also the light. All right, and this is what it looks like when it's all done. You got your small bead, your large bead, your bobber. Below your bobber is your bump stop for your slider. You got the bump stop below to hit your knot, kind of cushions that. And one thing I forgot to mention with the sinker sliders, they are really, really good for if you're fishing on the bottom, because what they do is when the fish grabs the bait and goes to pull on it, it allows you can take it out and turn the battery upside down. It'll come on nice and bright. They got blue, green, pink, yellow, any color you want. So you not only do you hear it ringing at night, you also get the visual of the light bouncing to identify exactly which pole is being hit at night. So those are a good option too.